fact, let me give you an example. Let's do a little experiment, all of us together. Okay? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I want you to answer those questions in your head, but the answers have to come like this. You're not allowed to think. Is that clear? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. So listen carefully. So you are now walking down the road, and you come across an alleyway, like a pathway, alleyway, 2 walls on each side. You go down that pathway, and you come across a wall. In your mind, tell me how high that wall is. Don't tell me. How high is that wall? Got the answer? Good. Now, you need to go over the wall. Now, do you manage to do it very quickly? Is it a struggle? Is it difficult? Or do you not go over? Just keep it in your mind. Don't tell me. So, let's assume you have to get over. You finally got over. You're now walking down the road, and you come across a water body. And what I mean by a water body, it could be a puddle, it could be a river, it could be a lake, it could be a sea, it could be any kind of water body. What do you see? Don't tell me. And describe that in your mind. Is it a raging river? Is it a calm lake? Is it a pond? Is it whatever it is? Describe it in your own head. Got it? You now have to get across that water body. So you get across it easily or more difficult? You now get to the other side. You're walking down on this beautiful grass, and in the distance you see a jungle. Describe the jungle to yourself from a distance. You now come towards the jungle, and you're right in front of the jungle. Describe the jungle. You now have to go inside the jungle. How do you do it? Do you do it easily, or do you do it by struggle? You're now inside the jungle. Describe the jungle to yourself. Are the trees tall? Is there any light coming through? Can you see very far into the jungle from a distance? Or is it very confined? And as you're walking through the jungle, you come across this pathway. And on that pathway, there's a key. Describe the key. Do you pick it up? Do you leave it there? And as you're walking down the pathway, you come across this house in the jungle. Describe the house. Does it have a chimney? Is the chimney smoking? Are there any animals outside the house? You go to the front door, you take the key out of your pocket, and you put the key into the door, and guess what? It fits. And you open the door, you enter. If you could think of one person you would love to have in that house at that moment, someone you know, who would that person be? Got it? Okay. Now just by that, if I was to ask you these questions, I would be able to identify your identity. So for example, as you walk down the alleyway, you came across a wall. If your wall was really, really high, it means that you look at life with absolute struggle. That life is really difficult, really complicated, and hard. If your wall was really small and you step over it, it just means life is a breeze. If your wall was medium and you manage to get over it easily, it means that life is slightly challenging, but you do it. If you didn't get over the wall, that means you give up too fast and you need some serious work on that area. And as you go over the wall and you come across the water body, that signifies your personal life. If you see a pond or a puddle, may God have mercy on you. You need to go and take some passion classes. If you saw a raging river, I know you guys will be smiling from ear to ear every single night. If you saw a very calm river, it means that you need to put some spice in your relationship because it's slowing down. You come across the river. An ocean is good. An ocean is good. Look at him smiling away. I have an ocean, he says. An ocean is good. Anything raging and is good. I just saw one husband and wife look at each other and say, I told you. So, and if you come across the jungle and you see the jungle from a distance, if you see a dense jungle, it means that your outlook for the future generally is that life is tough, life is difficult. When you come to the edge of the jungle and you're able to get in very easily, it means when you face a challenge, you just go through it, no issues. If you have to fight it, it still means that you have the determination. If you give up, then you give up. As you walk in, if the environment inside is too dark, it means that your current environment needs some serious work on. Your environment around you and your friends need to be changed. If you have lots of light coming from the top and you're able to see long into the jungle, right to the other end, that means you have clarity or purpose and you're a very long-term thinker. If you can't see more than a distance, that means you're not even thinking about the future. You're too stuck in your environment. If you find a key, and the key is a large key, that means you're very ambitious and you want to make money. If you put the key down, you're probably a person who's more into contribution than making money. When you go to the house and you see a big house, it tells you your thoughts about lavishness and materialism. And if you have a small little cottage, then it tells you whatever it tells you. And if you have a chimney on your house and it's smoking, it just means that you're very, very, very super ambitious. These are metaphors. They're not like fuzzy-wuzzy things. These are metaphors. And when you put the key into the door and you open the door, the person you thought of is the person you most love in your life. And that is your identity. How many of you found that accurate? It's very accurate. It's super accurate. Because we work with pictures. Our brain doesn't work with words. If I asked you to write a song for me right now about life, I would be able to tell your entire life with that song instantly. Because we only write things that we believe.